Welcome to another episode of Core Top Tens. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
Manager.
And all right, E3, if you don't mind doing this.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh my
That's
God.
a
I'm
wonderful
leaving.
Christmas special.
Merry Christmas to you,
All
sir.
right. As you all know from that intro and from the lovely festive gear, we are doing a Christmas special as we get into the time of December. We are doing worst Christmas movies. 2 years ago, we did favorite Christmas movies. Now we're doing worst Christmas movies.
These movies we're going to talk about deserve coal in their stockings, I think.
Quite horrendous, and have left quite the impression on all of us. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yarp.
Always ready.
All right, so of the four that voted, we had a total of 25 different Christmas movies that got a vote. We had actually a three-way tie in eighth place. We are going to start off with the first one. So the original one of this was actually mentioned on our favorite Christmas movies and ranked very highly. This is going back to the sequel that just could not muster the same magic that the original one had. This sequel came out in 2002, starring Tim Allen. It is the second edition. It is Santa Claus 2.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa Claus is back.
Look out!
But this year, Santa ran into a little problem.
I've got to get married?
Coming in with 9 points.
Santa Claus 2, huh?
Terrible. I really hated Santa Claus.
I could
2.
tell.
It is so
I could tell.
boring.
It did get a little better as I got older just because I liked the fake Santa and his hot cocos.
But it's only like 2 lines he says out of a whole movie. There's 2 lines the evil Santa says, and that are funny. The rest of it is absolutely boring. The whole storyline with the son, I hate it. You know, the son's like getting bad grades on the naughty list. I just hate this movie. The third one's
He's anti-Christmas.
The third one's terrible too. The third one may or may not also be on my list because the Santa Claus is really good. The first one.
I did like the original's charm.
There's no charm in the Santa Claus 2.
No, I just don't have the hatred for the second one. Again, we said the first one's a masterpiece. I think I had that number 1 or number 2 on my list last year. So yes, it is not as good as the first one, but there's definitely a lot worse Christmas movies than this one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
The reason I didn't put it on is because I'm like, it's watchable.
I would
Maybe
disagree.
because of another one we might be talking about later. It might have pushed up on my list, but I thought it was okay.
What's your ticket? I think I may have a Halloween's Kills thing going on here, where Halloween Ends was so bad it kind of boosted Halloween Kills. So maybe it's that way for me.
So you
with
think
Santa
the
Claus
third? You
franchise.
think this third one's so bad it makes you feel better about the second
It makes sense.
one? Or you
Yes,
could just,
yes, I
or
do.
you could just realize that they're both terrible. It's kind of like there is no such thing as a good Jurassic Park movie after the first one. I know Philip would disagree.
Again, it didn't capture the magic of the first one. Nowhere near as good, but yeah, it's okay.
This is a democracy. Jacob voted strong.
And
so
we all got strong opinions on weird things.
Jacob wanted to make sure he talked about it, and he damn sure did it.
I wanted to talk about it.
This next one was voted on by 3 people. Follows 2 big stars, Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito. It came out in 2006. It is Deck the Halls.
In the peaceful town of Cloverdale, Dr. Stephen Finch was Mr. Christmas. Until the competition moved in.
Who moves in the middle of the night?
I'm Buddy Hall.
You can see every house in the country from space.
Where's our house?
You can't see our house.
Just hoping that one day I'd do something big.
It's trash.
I mean,
I saw this in theaters too.
You saw this in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I have only seen this recently, like within the past few years. It is really bad.
But it was disappointing, though, because the 2 stars in it I liked with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito. So it was a shame that the movie was just really, really bad. Obviously, it tried to be a comedy, but the jokes aren't really that great. The heartwarming message they try at the end, it just didn't really hit for me. I rewatched this, I think last year, and I just still wasn't feeling it.
I was curious as to who this movie is for, because it doesn't really seem to be a kids movie either.
Are you saying the Who's Your Daddy scene wasn't for kids? And it's like the main thing Danny DeVito wants to do is he wants to make his house so bright that they
Yeah.
can see it from space.
Yeah, just
What does that do for you? Okay, and then what?
And then like his obsession like costing his family, which part it's just really bad.
And then you think about it, like his family's right. You are like your whole goal in life right now is just to make your house bright. Like that's kind of pathetic, don't you think? They care this much about that. I just don't know what his goal of being seen from space does for him. It's just like an ego thing, which that's not the heartwarming thing for Christmas movies.
I mean, I think the movie probably had potential with that premise of trying to make it like, hey, you're making this too much about appearances than what Christmas is actually about, which that's probably what they were trying to do, but they sounded like they epically failed in that.
And most of the characters aren't likable.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick is like this really uptight guy because there's sometimes you're like, dude, calm down. He went into his neighbor's yard, covert style, and like started cutting his lights and messing up his like fuse boxes. So I'm just like, dude, that's kind of, that's a crime. Christmas movies are supposed to be like truly about the meaning of Christmas. This movie didn't have that. It was about the superficial stuff. So that doesn't make for a good Christmas movie.
All right, we're going to go into our next movie. The original one actually had some argument and debate on this show, but the sequel came out in 2014. It stars everybody's favorite comedian, Larry the Cable Guy. It is Jingle All the Way 2.
In honor of Christmas, I bring to everybody Larry's Parade of Lights.
You sure this is safe?
Of course it is. I rigged it myself.
It's awesome! It's like a palace.
And now, as they say in French, the peace of the resistance.
This is going to be the best Christmas ever!
Someone saw this? Who actually?
So when you do research, I do research.
Why would you watch this?
Like rehash of the original, but with Larry the Cable Guy.
I know.
You know, they're trying to find a toy for Christmas. His daughter has a stepdad who buys all the toys that the kid wants. So Larry the Cable Guy's got to find this toy. And it's just the humor's awful. Everything's awful, really.
Again, with our lists like these, we had to have seen it to be able to talk about it. And there's no way in hell you get me to watch a Larry the Cable Guy sequel of a movie that I love. I'm not letting Larry the Cable Guy sully Jingle All the Way. Not going to happen.
Look, guys, I'm committed to this podcast. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm committed with this research.
You win, Bobby. You win. So, Bobby, was there anything in the second Jingle All the Way that was associated with the first one at all?
No.
But they didn't have the fun of Sinbad or Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
no, it was severely lacking in fun.
You said it wasn't funny, but you knew that going in because it's Larry the Cable Guy.
No, sometimes you might be able to get a slight chuckle out of me with some comedies.
I don't think I don't know if I've ever laughed at Larry the Cable Guy. I really don't think I've ever laughed.
I didn't give a half-hearted laugh. I just sat there in misery.
Yeah, he's never been funny.
But yeah, no, but I'm not watching the Cable Guy movie. Come on. The only thing you could watch him in is Cars, because I think as a cartoon voice that works.
Well, Bobby, bless you for watching that.
I do what I can for this podcast.
You know that's an hour and a half you're never getting back.
All right, let's speak of another hour and a half that D3 and I are not getting back in our lives. This movie came out in 2013. It came in with 10 points. The reason it was kind of ranked lower for me is because I kind of forgot about it. One of our wives didn't actually like the original, and it's a true atrocity they did not like the original. It is The Christmas Story 2.
Ralphie is back.
Ralphie?
Now he's a bigger kid with an even bigger wish.
Holy jeez.
A Christmas Story 2, the official sequel.
Not the one that just came out on HBO Max last year. Not that one. That's actually a quality sequel.
2013 one
The
made.
first attempt.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not seeing that.
You don't want to, Hunter. The guy who played Ralph, I'm sorry, didn't do a good job. I like Daniel Stern, but he just did not fit the part of the old man.
So what's the plot of this one? How old is Ralphie in this one?
He's like 16?
Yeah, he's like a teenager.
And he wants a car.
So instead of a gun, it's a car this time.
Yeah, I feel like two subplots next. He wants a car and he wants a girl.
Well,
because we got to bring the girl element into it too. Not all Christmas movies need a romantic interest. I'm just saying.
No.
Not all Christmas movies need a sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Sometimes the first one just did the job, and we're good.
You can't capture how the movie got popular because it wasn't popular when it came out. It came organically over the years. When was the original? I mean,
in the 80s, and this one was 2012.
So, like, what? Depending on if it was early 80s, it could be like 25, 30 years later.
Really?
So the one that came out in 2022, I thought was actually decent for a sequel.
I haven't seen that.
I thought it did good enough.
Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to move into our next one. That also came in with 10 points. It was my number one because this movie, like, oh my gosh, you really talk about how long? An hour and 33 minutes. I'm not gonna get back in my life. I knew this movie would be devil awful, but I was at Thanksgiving and somebody wanted to watch it, and so they put it on. And even though it was in the background, I still was hearing it, and I still watched part of it. It was pure torture. This one came out in 2021. It actually premiered. I believe it didn't go to theaters. It actually was on Disney Plus. It is Home Sweet Home Alone.
It was the night before Christmas vacation. And the fun was in full swing.
Mom? Dad? Uncle Blake? They don't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm here.
I can't go to jail, honey. I wouldn't last 30 seconds in Gen Pop. It's where fresh fish get got.
Orange stripe, center pocket. Ooh. That did not sound right.
Or Home Alone, like 5.
Oh, is it the one that came out like 2 years ago?
Yes, the most recent one.
Yeah, that looked awful.
Like, again, Home Alone got magic because Macaulay Culkin was an amazing child actor, and you were pulling from him. This kid was annoying.
Dude, this kid was a brat, dude. You hated this kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not pulling for this kid at all. And then the villains, they gave you a backstory that I actually felt bad for the villains because it kind of made
I heard
like,
that.
Yeah, how can you? Yeah, how can you make the people get
They were trying to
hurt?
get this doll back because they were losing their house and they needed the doll. So I'm like, the reason I was pulling for Macaulay Culkin and not the villains, and I didn't care they got hurt, is because I was not pulling for the villains and they were just evil. That's all they put to me. They didn't explain this. But when you put that whole story in, I felt bad for them because I'm like, yeah, they're just trying to save their house because guess what? Like, they need that doll. Otherwise, they're going to lose their house. Like, and they have kids and family. Like, that doesn't work.
You're just waiting the whole movie for the time where they finally realize that, oh, you just want something that I brought home.
Yeah.
I think it's like it might be a modern Disney kids movie problem, but they're afraid to write villains.
They really are. Everybody's got to be sympathetic, dude. They took the Thanos was right meme and applied. They're like, oh, that should apply to every villain.
Sometimes there's bad people out there.
It was so dumb. The acting was bad. All the stuff they did with the kid, like, again, I couldn't stand them. And I was like, dude, I hope they do get you, buddy. Like, there's no part of me that's hoping you win this.
Yeah, it was really the most point. It was like, in the third and fourth Home Alone stunk as well, but this one took it a whole nother level of sucker too.
Well, don't all of them suck but the first one? Or no, second one's good. Second one's good. Okay, fine. All the Macaulay ones are good.
I'm gonna step off my soapbox. It also had a 15% tomato meter score and a 12% audience score, which I mean, I believe that is way too high for it.